I believe that God speaks to us if we just listen hard enough, right? If we just pay attention to what's going on around us. I'm not saying it's always there, and I'm not saying it's always perfect, but I do believe that. And I do believe that when we hear that, we need to act on it. You are right where you're supposed to be, right where you're supposed to be. And this is like kind of like the magic that the universe sends us, these little clues that tell us you're on track or you're not on track, right? But when you're on track, you are on track. And I think everybody has these experiences. I just don't think that everybody pays enough attention to them. And I feel like I've been blessed in my life with having these moments, right? Where there's such clarity that I know I'm in the right place. One of them just recently happened to me. I've had so many over my life. One that was really profound for me was in Afghanistan. And I'll talk a little bit about that one. And also as a child. I mean, I feel like they're just either I notice these things or maybe it's just me and my makeup. But I do believe it is my deep faith in God that has given me this kind of ability to even in the hardest times, to kind of just get through it. My grandmother was like that. My mom used to say that all the time. I reminded her of my grandmother, Mima, that my grandmother always tried to see like the positive in life. In the end, I try to as well. I mean, I don't ignore the bad, but I try to see the positive. And I think some of that comes from knowing you are right where you're supposed to be. And I think my friend Mikey from a long time ago, who traveled through Tibet, who was the one that kind of coined that for me. I know other people out there have used it, and I'll explain why that is so important to me right now. But first, I want to tell you about Allegiance Gold. You know, they're a sponsor for the show. I absolutely love Allegiance Gold. Why? Because it allows you to diversify your funds. And look, don't just trust me on this. Do your own research, figure it out for yourself. But Allegiance Gold will allow you to protect what you've worked so hard for, and it'll give you back the control and the privacy that you need. And right now you can get $5,000 of free silver on a qualifying purchase when you tell them that Sara sent you. My friends at Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA, your 401k with physical gold and silver. And guess what? They'll deliver it right to your front door. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. Allegiance Gold has the highest ratings in the industry. It's got 5 stars with TrustLink. Can never get that out of my mouth. AAA rated with the Better Business Consumer Alliance, and they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Right now, get $5,000 of free silver on a qualifying purchase when you tell them that Sara sent you. So don't wait. Call or click today, 877-702-7272. That's 877-702-SARA. No H. That's SARA. Or go to protectwithsara.com. We can't control the Biden administration, folks, but we can prepare. 877-702-7272. That's 877-702-SARA, SARA, or protectwithsara.com. So you're right where you're supposed to be. I remember my friend Mikey, this was when I was very young. I was in California. And he was studying in Tibet. He actually had gone. He was in the university, and part of his program for his master's was that he had applied to study the healing powers of music. Yes, I guess that is the possibility of a master's degree. And he went all the way to Tibet to study this. And he spent time in Tibet, could speak a variety of different Tibetan languages. And I guess every single tribe up there speaks their own language in the mountains of Tibet. He was blessed enough to meet his beautiful wife, Ganga, who ended up coming back to the United States with him. It was just this incredible love story. But he told me one time, I was kind of having this profound moment in my life where, I was wondering, am I doing what I need to be doing? And am I really fulfilling what God wanted me to fulfill? When you have those moments in life where you're just kind of questioning things. And he said to me, the reason that you had that feeling, the reason that this happened to you, according to the Tibetans, is a sign from the universe that you're right where you're supposed to be, that you just have to recognize it. And it could be anything. It could be a song that plays on the radio. It could be some weird coincidence where you're, at a grocery store standing in line, and then, somebody you haven't seen in 20 years just, shows up, and they show up, and they're not only there, they're there with a purpose. Like they tell you something that all of a sudden your brain says, wow, how did that happen? Or have you ever thought of someone and then the phone rings, like you hadn't talked to them in forever, and then the phone rings and it's them, or just kind of like weird coincidences that happen in life that kind of give you a purpose, that center you again, that say, okay, this is all right. Before I get to the one that I had the other day, which was pretty awesome, I had this one in Afghanistan that was really profound, very profound. And it was during a time period when I was covering the war in Afghanistan, and it was a tough year. It was very tough. It was 2010 and 2009, sorry. It was 2009, and people were just getting destroyed. Our troops, were being hit a lot with IEDs. There was a lot of issues inside the villages in southern Afghanistan. Children were getting wounded, Taliban fire. It was just a hard time to be covering the war. I remember going back into Bagram, and there were 2 soldiers, and they were in the same unit. And both of them had been wounded at the same time. And one of them was dying, and the other one was holding his hand, and they were both laying next to each other in their gurneys. And I remember seeing that soldier hold his friend's hand as he was dying. And I was just thinking to myself, man, how is it possible? Where is God? Where is God when we're ripping each other apart? We're in the middle of a war zone, we're killing each other in a land so far away. And I don't know if there's ever going to be an end in sight to this, where we can stop the enemy too, right? The enemy has its say from wanting to target the West, especially terrorists. And anyways, it was really gut-wrenching. It was very hard to see this, over and over again. There was also a child at Bagram Field Hospital then that I was talking to, and, just seeing people kind of roll in, and even the caskets roll out. It was very, very difficult. And I ended up going with my friend Sherdil. I hope Sherdil's listening to this. I'm going to tell him to listen to this podcast, who I love very much, Sherdil Kadari. And he is now in the United States with his beautiful family, his 4 sons and his wife, and just a truly beautiful human being that he is. And he and I we were going to go out on a, kind of a mission, kind of like a little reporter's mission, right? Where I'm not going with any bodyguards. I'm not going to go with any U.S. soldiers. No one. It's just me, Sherdil, Yarmamat, my old friend, who is now in Pakistan. And it was just us. And we were heading up to Panjshir. And on this trip, there was this really profound moment that I had with him. We had stopped, I think at this point in time, on the Salong River. And I'm trying to remember all the little pieces, or it was the Salong River. And there was this Tajik outpost with all these tents. This was one of the tribes in Afghanistan. Anyways, there were people in the water, and they were, cleaning their hands, and there were these tents, and across the Salong River, there were all these children running along the hillside, and they were wearing colorful clothing, like bright pink and bright green, the little girls, and they were running after their goats or whatever that they were herding. And I remember thinking they looked like gumballs. And my friend Sherdil said he was gonna get a family tent. That way I could take off my my head wrap, my head scarf, and just sit in there and eat and enjoy the dinner without having to worry about any kind of offending anyone. And so he got a family tent for us that was facing the river. And he had left, and he and Yarmamat were somewhere talking to one of the men who was frying the fresh fish that had come out of the river. And it's very small fish, and they deep fried it so much so it was like a crispy potato chip, I guess, when I got it. You didn't even taste the bones. It was fried so much. And I was very appreciative because I was very hungry. And I remember looking out across the river and just how incredible everything was. It was like having this profound moment. I could see the children with such clarity laughing and playing, running along the river. I could see literally just focus on the water dripping off of the hands of the men that were washing their hands, getting ready for prayer, because it was nearing sunset. And just the beauty in a place that was filled with war. And I just had this very profound moment, and tears were falling out of my eyes. And I thought, you know what? It's all going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We are not perfect creatures, are we? We question I question everything. I mean, I'm like, what, we have to, right? Like, why are we even here? Why do we exist? What is going on? Why are we fighting each other? Why are we tearing each other apart? And even in a country so far away, I had this profound moment. And I thought about what Mikey said to me. I thought, you're right where you're supposed to be. Right now, in this moment, and it's okay. No matter what happens, it's okay. You all know I love Mike Lindell. I love my pillow. I talk about it all the time. My slippers, my pillow, my dog bed, all of that. And now Mike Lindell has a very, very special offer for Sara Carter listeners. And it's My Pillow 2.0. My Pillow 2.0. And right now you get brand new temperature regulating technology that'll keep you comfortable throughout the night. All of this fabric, it's so great, guys. It feels so soft. It feels so cool. Trust me. All my kids have the My Pillow 2.0 right now. And for a limited time, when you buy just one My Pillow 2.0, guess what? You're going to get another one free with promo code Carter, CARTER. Go to mypillow.com for My Pillow 2.0 products like towels, sheets, slippers, so much more, and use the promo code Carter. Stay cool and sleep better with the My Pillow 2.0 buy one get one free sale going on right now at mypillow.com promo code Carter. mypillow.com promo code Carter. So, I was in Buda, Texas. And I'm there for Mother's Day. My son's playing open mic. Alex is just a phenomenal guitarist. He is really incredible, and his singing he's doing just great with his singing. He's also working with me right now. And I'm there with Alex. I'm there with our youngest, Annalise, and Marty, of course. And we're just hanging out, having fun. And this family walks in, and it's kind of like a bar coffee shop. Like, you can get a gin and tonic or you can get a matcha latte, whatever you want. That's why I love Texas. No regulations here, like crazy regulations. You can have your own business, whatever you want it to be. And there's musicians in there, and they're singing and all of that. So a family walks in, a big family, a grandma, the mom, the kids, the friends, and they're all hanging out, and they're sitting next to us. And my friend, and Annalise is sitting there, and she is making friends with this little girl who is a part of this big family that's sitting next to us. Now, the weird thing is, one of the open mics is a teacher that gets up. She gets up and she's like, I was a teacher, and, I was a teacher for 7 years. Now I'm going back to what I love, which is my music. And I wrote this song, and it's called You're Right Where You're Supposed to Be. And I look at Marty because I had been talking to him earlier about my friend Mike and about you're right where you're supposed to be. And so Marty's like, wow, that's a weird coincidence. We didn't think anything of it. She's, just that little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really believe in coincidences. I think it's a sign. So she sings her song, and it's quite beautiful. And Annalise continues playing with this little girl. And then Annalise goes and buys this little girl a notebook, a really cute little notebook, because it's kind of like it's like a bookstore, kind of antique shop, bar, pseudo coffee shop. And she goes and she just wants to do it. And I'm, how can I get mad at her, right? She had my credit card and I was like, she just ran over there and bought her one. And then the mom came over and said, oh my gosh, I saw what your daughter did. And she's so sweet to her. I just wanted to say thank you, because I know she probably bought that without, even asking permission. And they were, the little girl was like 5 and Annalise is 10. So I said, oh, Annalise always loves kids. Anyways, we started talking. And she has no idea who I am. Her mom, though, does kind of recognize me after she finally comes over and starts talking. And we are just, we're just talking. And she finally asks me what I do. And I explain to her. And we start talking about the migrant situation in Brownsville. And then she tells me, I tell her about my plan to, do a movie premiere with Eduardo's movie for law enforcement and just honoring them for all the hard work that they do. And she looks at me and she goes, I'm the city councilwoman here in Buda. My name is Monica, and I would love to work with you on something like this. And not just at the border, because they're dealing with that at the border every day, but about what's happening right here in our own communities, where we know people are being trafficked, where we know fentanyl is being shipped. Let's do something here. And I was just telling my husband, I feel like we moved to Texas and there's so many more things I want to get involved in. I want to make more friends. Anyways, I meet this wonderful woman. She happens to be like on the same page with me as far as like the issue of human trafficking, the horrors that our children are facing when it comes to fentanyl. And she happens to be on the same page about educating, people about this. And I just felt like all of the sudden it was like, yes, absolutely. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right at this moment, right now, And I'm supposed to be meeting her. And we are I know some of you out there don't believe. I do. I really do. And I believe that, God speaks to us if we just listen hard enough, right? If we just pay attention to what's going on around us. I'm not saying it's always there, and I'm not saying it's always perfect, but I do believe that. And I do believe that when we hear that, we need to act on it, right? We need to act on it. We need to take the moment to hear people out, to listen to them because they may have something to teach us, or to work with them, or to say, hey, that this is a moment that we are supposed to be working together and saving children, saving our nation, saving lives, right? We're saving lives. And every single person I meet, whether that's Eduardo, whether that's Monica, who is with the city council, whether it was her amazing mom, who finally realized that I was Sara Carter and she was so excited and she was just so sweet. And, and whether it's my daughter making a friend, out of nowhere in a coffee shop, pseudo bar, and then that woman going up and singing, after I just talked to my husband, remembering, Mikey, remembering all the experiences. And there was one last thing I want to say before I wrap this up. I truly believe that we all, like I said, have this gift, that we all are a part of something much bigger than ourselves. I don't, like you, totally understand it. I don't think anybody does. But I do believe that if we pay attention to it and that we act on it and that we accept it and we do things outside of ourselves, right? We're a very selfish society lately. Even me sometimes, it's a very selfish world. I mean, we're always taking pictures of ourselves. I mean, Instagram, it's all about us, me. I see that with the kids. But if we take a break just to listen to the world around us, whether that's sitting at a lake and, watching the ducks or walking our dog or, taking a moment to call an old friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time, or a relative, that if we just take that moment to go outside of ourselves, that God will bless us, that we will find happiness. A lot of the unhappiness that we bring on ourselves is because we're not paying attention to what's going on around us. And sometimes that's hard to do. But anyways, that's a little life lesson for me, a little bit of wisdom. Let's look outside ourselves. Let's listen to what, God is telling us. Let's find that common ground with each other, and let's make a difference. Thank you so much for being a part of the Sara Carter Show. Thank you so much for listening to me. Again, you can follow me on Truth at Sara Carter Official, on Twitter at Sara Carter DC, and on Instagram at SCarterDC. God bless you. God bless our great nation, and God bless the great state of Texas.